Hey y'all, this is Billy from Perma Pastures Farm. I'm going to keep my voice down for a couple of reasons. Well, as you can see, I'm not at Perma Pastures Farm. I'm actually in Arizona. And we'll get into that in other videos. I'm here for training. But as I hit the ground in Tucson, I Googled, who are the permaculture designers in the area, okay? And it brought me to a guy named Dan. It was a complete accident. And an extraordinary man. And he spent, I just showed up at his house, y'all. And this is why, like Shakespeare said, the apparel oft proclaimed the man. Well, dig it. That's what got me in the front door, that t-shirt right there. That's why I wear, a lot of times, that's what I wear. I want something to be thought-provoking. I want it to be inviting. And I also want, if I'm trying to get a foot in the door, well, I'm already speaking the language because I kind of showed up unannounced. I tried to call him, the number was wrong, and it wasn't even supposed to be on the website in the first place. But anyway, I called, nothing, and I figured I'd drive by. Well, I saw the door open, so I went up there, and he was a very, very inviting man. When he saw the shirt, he knew immediately, okay, this guy looks like a permaculture pimp daddy to me. Didn't quite go that way, but anyway, he knew right then and there, oh, okay, it was disarming, you see? Well, he showed me his place. Now, we are in a desert, a high desert. He showed me his place. He didn't want any of it filmed, or at least he didn't want to be on film. And frankly, I'm by myself. It's not like I have the benefit of William or Michelle helping out filming. So, and I'm trying to give him my full attention, so I didn't get as much video as I would have preferred. But it was astonishing. And it made me realize right off the bat how spoiled I am, because we're in a place where they get, I don't know, maybe 6 inches of rainfall a year. And every single surface, everything he had out there, and I'm talking really, really clever water capturing means, really, really clever use of how the sunlight, we are in a desert, it gets very, very hot. How everything was set up absolutely perfectly. And he's been at this since the early 90s. But he walked me through his food forest, and believe it or not, y'all, I'm walking through one right now. This is truly astonishing out here. Never really worked in this environment before, but right out here, everything here is edible. These cactus, Dan, the owner, told me about them. Saguaro, I can never say that word right. Prickly pear, wolfberry. Everything you see here is absolutely edible. And here it is right off the main road. Except maybe that cat, I don't think you want to eat that. For 5 blocks, this thing goes, he explained to me, all the way down there. This thing goes for 5 blocks, and he basically got grant money to have the city take what was normally a rainwater diversion ditch. Okay, some more wildlife I didn't know about. Took this rainwater diversion ditch and pimp it out in the most astonishing way. Now, here's what I want to point out, because this is the really killer part. Okay, so I knew right off this is some sort of leguminous tree, and this is mesquite, and there's a bunch of different varieties, and before I leave here, I'm going to have a much better understanding of what those are. But the beautiful thing, and then cactus, all of them edible. Everything you see in here is edible, all alongside this walk. So here it was, and then of course he has some invasive grasses in here that, lo and behold, the government brought in, I guess. Anyway, everything through here is completely edible, completely awesome, superb design, where you have to be, when you're living in an environment like this, every drop of rain absolutely matters. And when you see the absolute respect that this man and his neighbors, for the most part, because it's been contagious. I can take you down there and show you some other things that he has out front. And all of his neighbors are starting to do it too. Like, oh shoot, we could put in a swale. What's a swale? So they put in mini swales, and they have all these other clever ways of capturing water. Sorry, I guess I'm all washed out in there. These really, really clever ways of capturing water and growing plants that are really going to do awesome in this area. Now, here's what I know I'm washed out. Let me get to where there's some shade. Now, here's what I want to point out, and this is really cool and interesting. Like right there's another mesquite tree, okay, and There's an overstory. This is part of the overstory. Here's the beautiful part, is that it is set up exactly the same way that I set up a food forest, okay? Or an orchard even in some of these areas. Overstory, understory, all 7 layers are out here, but they are 7 layers that do well in this area. But the exact same motive here, exact same thing. And it's just really cool to see this in an environment that I'm frankly not all that accustomed. I mean, in the past, I've always asked myself, why on earth would anybody want to live in a desert? Okay, truthfully, I'm still asking that question for a number of other reasons, but it does give you a great deal of respect for water, you know, the plants that grow there, and it can be done. But by and large, as I look around, anything that's government related or anything they have a hand in, like these giant drainage ditches, which I'm going to talk about on Patreon, all those things are poorly managed and poorly designed by the government. It's to shed this water away when they really ought to be keeping it. That's what we want to do. Is remember, capture that rainfall and hang on to it for a while, amplify it, divert it, do whatever you have to do. And you see it done in the most superb way at his place. But you don't necessarily see that. In fact, you don't see it whenever the government's involved. So how cool is that? All right, y'all, I'm going to have more stuff to share as we, as me, I'm the Lone Ranger out here today. I'm going to have more stuff, and I'm out here for a mission. Now, I'll tell you what it is here before too long. But anyway, you can find permaculture anywhere. So if you find yourself maybe Tucson is not where I'm staying. I actually need to go 2 hours away from here. I flew in last night, and the first thing on my list, even though I'm supposed to be there, is find anybody who knows anything about permaculture around here. And I did it. So when you go somewhere, if you want to see how another person's doing it, and then when you come across a master like Dan, and you see all these clever ways in which he's doing it, and he's so busy, that's part of why he didn't want to be filmed, because he doesn't need the advertisement. He's up to his eyeballs with permaculture work right now. And he's getting on in years, and he doesn't, he's just not, he just doesn't have the time to spend on that sort of thing right now. So he didn't, how cool is that? So you can do some pretty awesome stuff for the environment, train a whole lot of people, which he does. In fact, he was in the middle of getting ready to train some people for a class coming up. But think about all these wonderful things you can do. So leave your place. You can't, like Mark Twain said, you can't vegetate in your own part of the world all your life and expect to be, to live a wonderful life. So get out there, visit some other places, especially some places, because I'm taking away a lot of cool things from here. And get those ideas, absorb what's useful, take it home to you, and make it happen at your farm. All right, y'all, you need anything from us, check us out down below. Check out the website. Sorry, y'all, I'm a little bit tired out here. Didn't get a whole lot of sleep. But anyway, hopefully I'm coherent enough to make this video. Till next time, this is Billy, not at Perma Pastures Farm, where permaculture is my passion, no matter where I am. We'll see y'all next time.